Some islands in the Indo-Pacific are so small that you can't spot them on the map, but they wield disproportionate influence on world affairs. Take, for example, Northern Mariana Islands. It lies north of Australia and east of the Philippines. For the people there, history is repeating itself, only this time as a defense strategy in the shadow of rising global tensions. As Ayushi Ahuja reports, the world is shifting gears in the Indo-Pacific. The message is clear: peace through strength. But will an arms race lead to deterrence or disaster?
The US is making its next big move, a massive $800 million upgrade to its military presence on the Northern Mariana Islands. At the heart of this upgrade is Tinian Island, where the US plans to breathe a new life into the long-abandoned airfield. It comes amid rising tensions with China. Tinian, which is located 2,400 kilometers south of Japan's capital Tokyo, is no stranger to military history. During World War II, it was a launchpad for some of the war's most decisive missions, including the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Fast forward to today, Tinian is gearing up to host a revamped airfield, part of Washington, D.C.'s broader Indo-Pacific strategy. The US military says it's about readiness and deterrence, but the timing tells its own story. Just last month, China test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile, also known as an ICBM, into the Pacific Ocean. It wasn't your usual inland test site. It happened in international waters, raising eyebrows and fears across the region. An ICBM is designed to carry a nuclear warhead. It has a range of more than 5,500 kilometers. China's latest ICBM is called the Dongfeng 41. The DF-41 has a range of up to 15,000 kilometers. China's military expansion is no secret. The DF-41 missile, operational since 2017, symbolizes its ambitions. Beijing insists that it follows a defensive policy, but its actions tell a different story, one of deterrence and dominance. Although it is said that the DF-41 could reach the US mainland, Beijing claims that the test wasn't aimed at anyone. But it is hard to ignore the message: we can if we want to.
China's People's Liberation Army rocket force launched an intercontinental ballistic missile carrying a dummy warhead to the high seas in the Pacific Ocean at 8:44 on September 25th. The missile fell into expected sea areas. This test launch is a routine arrangement in our annual training plan. It's in line with international law and international practice and is not directed against any country or target.
Back in the Northern Marianas, the governor isn't mincing his words. Arnold Palacios says that the missile test underscores why this $800 million defense project has to happen. Listen to Arnold Palacios, the governor of Northern Mariana Islands. He says, and I quote, "We are the second chain of violence. If something happens in Taiwan or the South China Sea, we will be impacted." It is not just about Tinian. Guam, the hub of US military power in the Indo-Pacific, is also part of this chessboard. Together, these islands are critical pieces in the US's strategy to counter China's growing military might in the region. Tinian, home to about 3,500 residents, sits at a critical crossroads in the Indo-Pacific. Given its proximity to key US bases in Guam and other locations, the island is being positioned as a strategic backup to meet certain mission requirements, quotes a top US official. And it's not just about planes. The US is leasing 2/3 of the island for defense and military development. This includes a $384 million airfield rehabilitation and an additional $409 million for operations, training facilities, and equipment upgrades. This isn't just an airfield. It's an all-in-one military hub. Plans include a training site for combat skills with multiple ranges, landing zones, and base camps. It's about creating realistic, joint combat training in a tropical environment. China is not just expanding its missile capabilities, it's working to create a world-class military by mid-century. That's a backdrop against which Washington, D.C. is ramping up its efforts in the Indo-Pacific. Now, no one wants a military base in their backyard. But as the governor of Northern Mariana Islands puts it, the best deterrent is to have a good defense. And with China flexing its muscles, the stakes in the Indo-Pacific couldn't be higher. Ayushi Ahuja for DD India.